From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, May the 19th, 2025. The IDF began a new expanded operation in Gaza called Gideon's Chariots against terror group Hamas and other terror groups. IDF troops operating now in northern, southern, and central Gaza. The IDF said yesterday over the past week, Israel's Air Force hit over 670 Hamas terror targets throughout Gaza to disrupt enemy preparations and support ground operations, saying thus far the troops eliminated dozens of terrorists, dismantled terrorist infrastructure sites above and below ground, and are currently being deployed in key positions within Gaza. Here's international spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Nadav Shoshani with more.
Now, our troops are operating deep in Gaza, eliminating threats, destroying terror infrastructure, and taking control of key areas. This is what we plan on doing. Give advance warnings to uninvolved civilians to make sure they get out of harm's way. Control the battlefield. Protect Israeli civilians and dismantle Hamas's leadership and capabilities. Dozens of terrorists have been eliminated. The Air Force continues to strike with precision. This won't end overnight, but we'll fight until Hamas is no longer a threat and our hostages are released.
The IDF issued a major evacuation order today in the area of Khan Yunis, telling residents there to leave what was now a dangerous combat zone in Gaza. COGAT today, the Coordination of Government Activities in the Territories, said that following the recommendation of professional IDF officials and in accordance with the directive of the political echelon, 5 United Nations trucks carrying humanitarian aid were transferred today into the Gaza Strip, saying the IDF will continue to facilitate humanitarian assistance in the Gaza Strip while making every effort to ensure that the aid does not reach Hamas. Israel's President Isaac Herzog and a delegation of rabbis and Jewish lay leaders joined hundreds of officials from around the world who attended the inauguration yesterday of Pope Leo XIV in Vatican City. Herzog wrote that he had the opportunity to briefly speak with the Pope at the end of the event and noted the sticker that he wore on his suit. Bearing, Herzog wrote, the unfathomable number 590, signifying the number of days the remaining 58 hostages held in Gaza have been captive as of yesterday. Today, that number is, of course, 591. Herzog said, "We need them home now. We salute the brave IDF soldiers who are fighting at this very moment." Herzog also writing his thanks to the Pope for, he wrote, your call for the release of the hostages. Herzog wrote, "I look forward to working with you to strengthen the relationship between all faiths, and I look forward to welcoming you in the Holy Land." Well, family members of hostages, including Ronen and Orna Neutra, whose son Omer's remains are still being held by Hamas in Gaza, together with released hostages like Keith and Aviva Siegel, were among the 50,000 people who marched up Fifth Avenue in New York City yesterday in the Celebrate Israel Parade, Israel Day on 5th. The annual gathering, organized by the Jewish Community Relations Council of New York, was led by Israeli and New York officials at the helm, including Israel's ambassador to the United Nations, Danny Danon, New York City Mayor Eric Adams, and New York Governor Kathy Hochul, leading a large variety of organizations, schools, and groups coming to celebrate Israel and to show their support and solidarity with Israel and with the hostages. Turning now to Basel, Switzerland, where Israel came in second place at the Eurovision Song Contest Saturday night for Yuval Raphael's stunning performance of New Day Will Rise. Austria came in first. Israel came in 14th in the jury vote at the Eurovision, but first place in the public vote, garnering 297 points, the most out of any of the 26 finalist countries. The contest's final result was announced as sirens sounded across central Israel Saturday night after a missile was once again fired by the Houthis in Yemen, sending Israelis to seek shelter. The IDF said the missile was intercepted and no injuries were reported. In Basel, security reportedly thwarted 2 separate attempts by anti-Israel protesters to rush the stage during Yuval Raphael's performance, but this made no impact on the 24-year-old, a survivor of the October 7th Hamas massacre at the Nova Music Festival. She performed with resilience, joy, and grace, and she shared her gratitude at the end of the song and a special message of Am Yisrael Chai, the people of Israel live.
Thank you, Europe! Am Yisrael Chai!
Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Monday, May the 19th at 7 o'clock, Anita Shapira, Jonathan Sarna, and Mark Rader examine Zionism in America. At 8, Abigail Pogrebin speaks with Yardena Schwartz to talk about her book, Ghosts of a Holy War, about the complex background of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. At 8:30, Eric Goldman sits with filmmaker Wendy Sachs on Jewish Cinematheque to talk about her documentary, October 8, about the explosion of anti-Semitism in the U.S. after October the 7th. At 9, Yossi Ron is on L'chaim. At 10, David Harris speaks with Dalia Ziada. At 10:30, an encore of the news. And coming up next, it's Good Week, Israel. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, May the 19th, 2025. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.